Howdy. So today is May 6th, 2021, and if I sound like weird, it's because I just had a root canal, and this is after a week of a lot of pain. And it started the day after the last infusion. Tooth second from the back on the bottom. Big infection. A lot of problems. So I figured before the anesthetic wears off, it'll be fun to try to see what I sound like with my with half my face not functioning the way it would normally function. So that's what's happening. So what's going to happen is I guess I'm going to get a crown put on that tooth in a couple of weeks after the infection is gone. And I guess there was it was an abscess and just a whole host of things, but I would not have it wouldn't have been a good idea for me to try to do this video thing yesterday or even this morning, because I was in so much pain that I could tell that I was just wearing myself down by, trying to keep it together. And it's an interesting way to see to witness life, because you don't really have much life. Everything is about pain mitigation and getting around, coping with the fluctuations between, on a scale of 1 to 10, between a 2 and dang close to 10, and with no idea about how what triggers the fluctuations. So I'm here at the Whole Foods and CVS and 99-cent store at Rose and Lincoln in Venice Beach, California, the veritable edge of Western civilization, because in anticipation of going in here and buying some aspirin or something for later. I have a pretty good idea that I might need it, and it'll be the first time, the second time in my life that will have taken something like a Tylenol. And hopefully it'll only be like a day or so. That's what he tells me. I'm taking some penicillin to get rid of the infection, and hopefully the dentist says that it should be, the swelling and everything should have gone down by tomorrow. So this whole thing is in some way related to the whole cancer thing, because the immunotherapy drug, for two reasons, okay? The immunotherapy drug kind of supercharges my immune system, and he said that any kind of it can cause itises, inflammations anywhere in your body that are susceptible. And apparently this tooth was. So this is the left side. This is the right side because I've got the camera reversed. This is the side that had the cancer, and luckily this is not that side. But the good news is that even given a week of this infection going on, these lymph nodes aren't swollen, so on either side, which is really, really good. But I knew that if this was only getting worse, and there was no end. So yesterday, I mean, it wasn't going to get any better. Yesterday I went to the hospital, and I called the oncology department to try to reach my doctor. Couldn't get through to him, but the nurse there said that I should just go to the urgent care department at UCLA Harbor. So I did, and they were able to they took a picture, a cell phone picture of the tooth, and they sent it over to an oral surgeon at the hospital, and he said that it was definitely that tooth, and that it was necessary, you know, obviously to get it taken care of. But he said that given the fact that I'm in the middle of this treatment, I can't really afford to lose the tooth right now. So whatever I did, I'd have to try to save the tooth. And what that meant is that a root canal and a crown was the only other option. I mean, there's some more complications and stuff. I'm leaving out a lot, but so I left there yesterday. After I waited 4 hours to talk to this oncologist finally, and I understand there can be some complications with regards to having dental work done while you're undergoing cancer treatment, especially if you've had radiation. And because I had radiation last year, it was really kind of and in fact, you know, all my teeth have been irradiated. So he said that it's, you know, this isn't necessarily what's happening isn't threatening the treatment necessarily, and that it was okay for me to go ahead and get this taken care of. So unfortunately, it was too late in the day to get, you know, they gave me a list of dental options all over LA, and I'm like, great. But I had this relationship with a dentist from years ago, and I went back to him today, and out of pocket, this is really going to set me back. But you know, it's like not much I can do about it. Yesterday it was very obvious to me that I wasn't myself, and because of the pain, and it didn't help waiting in that friggin' hospital for 4 hours to get a chance to talk to this oncologist. And the fact that I hadn't gotten a whole lot of sleep the night before, I gotta get 8 hours. You know, if I don't get 8 hours, I am not a nice person. To me, I mean, I don't enjoy life as much unless I get close to 8 hours, at least 7, you know. And you know, it's hard it was very hard to sleep because, you know, this thing just got worse and worse. And so first thing in the morning, I woke up and I went to the hospital, hoping they had a dental department that could take care of this, but nope, they just do oral surgery, and this isn't that, thankfully. So I was hoping to get a referral or something. Anyway, it's not being covered by, the tooth thing isn't being covered by any, you know, the Medi-Cal, Medicaid, whatever the heck. And but penicillin is, that's good. I'm taking these antibiotics without the doctors say so, because I couldn't get a hold of the guy again. You know, I've tried to reach him. I tried to reach him on Monday and Tuesday, and I just trust that, you know, everything is unfolding as it should. And, you know, the dentist was like, you should contact the doctor. I tried to reach him, and finally I was like, you know, it took me 4 days and being able to actually be at the hospital to finally get some FaceTime with this guy. I'm just going to you know, make a command decision here. It's my life, my body, and we're going to go ahead with this, and hopefully it doesn't screw anything up. But, you know, the calculus was really simple. Last night I'm sitting here in the van, parked on the PCH, staring out the ocean, and I'm like, I could just feel, with every wave of pain, I could just feel myself kind of withering, you know, and that it wasn't going to get any better. I needed to do something that was gonna, you know, turn this thing around. And so I knew that this was just gonna, I could tell that it was wearing down my constitution, you know what I mean, my metabolism, and you know, that's not where we want to be, given I'm just a week away from the last infusion. I'm still, it's hard enough, you know, the side effects, you know, dealing with the fatigue and all this other stuff from the chemo, I mean the immunotherapy drug, never mind this thing draining my system, you know. And, you know, I talked to a friend, and they said something about, you know, if you have an abscess, it can actually get down into your jawbone, and then you're really basically SOL. And so anyway, that's what page we're on. At the moment, I feel wonderful, and the reason is I'm not in pain, and not being in pain is a whole nother world from people that are in pain. And, you know, it's only been a week for me, and I think about, you know, the people that are dealing with pain right now, and it's no wonder we have an opioid problem, because you know, the reason why people got those prescription drugs is because they were in pain. And you can get to a place where you're like, whatever it is, give it to me, you know. Luckily for me, I didn't get to that point where I was willing to do any sort of you know, they offered me some, what do you call it, opioids, some sort of narcotic, something or other, and I was like, nope, thank you, You know, we're gonna try to fix this thing so that won't be necessary. But I thought about all these folks that are, I could not help but think about the rest of the people on the planet that are in this kind of pain. And I realized the second major revelation of this whole thing is, this is, once again, this is the throat chakra. It's a breath chakra. I was thinking about it yesterday when I was waiting. This is all part of this crisis in the breath chakra that the cancer has pointed out. And me taking care of myself is part of that. And because accepting the wealth, that we all have, to accept the wealth that the universe, the source of the universe, is willing to bestow to help us take care of ourselves, So big lessons. I'm very grateful for this past week of, this will be known in the future of the week of pain, and as it happens, I'm literally halfway through I think today I'm literally halfway through the treatment. Like last week was the third infusion of 6. It's a week and a half after that, and it's I think 19. The next infusion is the 19th, and so I'm literally halfway. I'm like at the trough of this whole thing, and it wasn't lost on me that this tooth thing is really took me to the mat, so kind of that dark night of the soul thing that we talk about in astrology. It has certainly tested me. I never wanted to get a root canal, but it was that or take the tooth out, and the doctor said that I can't really afford to have a tooth extracted right now, so this is what page we're on. So hi there. Interesting. So face is still numb, tongue is still numb. Oh God, I hope it I got to tell you, it was really wonderful to get the shots initially to stop the pain that I walked in there with. And yeah, so this part of the journey has been very devastating in, I guess, the best way. I've tried to do my best to understand and get whatever lessons the universe wants me to get from this. The journey isn't over. I've got two more dental appointments after this. They're going to to put the crown in. Right now I've got a temporary filling in there, and no nerve in the tooth. So yeah, things you don't want to have happen while you're doing cancer treatment. A root canal. Not that there's ever a best time for a root canal, just saying, but and I'm really glad to be able to be laughing and joking and smiling and, sharing, before I duck back into the pain universe for the next day and a half of, dealing with this, what this man just did to my mouth. Oh man, it feels really weird to smile this way. Yeah. Crazy. All right. So, in case you're wondering, that right there is a cracked tooth from getting punched in the face a couple of years ago. And that punch in the face started this whole thing, because I had to go to a doctor to get to see a dentist to have the tooth checked out, and the doctor found the cancer, and that's what started the whole cancer treatment story, and la 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 la. And if I'm lucky, when all this is over, I'll still have that to remind myself, but at least I'll hopefully still have a tooth in my mouth instead of, and I'll be able. I've been skating for so many years on just trying to take really good care of what I have left. Life of the starving artist, not having enough resources to go into a place to take care of what needed taken care of. I don't know if you're aware of it, but even Obamacare, if you have Medi-Cal or Denti-Cal and you go into a dentist, all that they can do everything they can do for the front teeth, but anything that can't be seen from the front, all they can offer you is an extraction. That's where politics, politics says that if you don't, and also if I hadn't saved the money from the sale of a painting, months ago, I would, even that list of dental clinics that they gave me, all they offer are extractions. The only way the oral surgeon said you have to save the tooth. The only way to save the tooth is to do was to do this procedure, this root canal. So if I didn't have the money to do that, where would I be now? You know what I mean? I would basically be, pardon my French, more fucked. So, hey there. Once again, this throat chakra, is about trusting in the truth of your relationship with the source of the one. It's about the word made manifest. It's also known as the breath chakra. It's all, the cancer is in this chakra, the tooth obviously is in the chakra. So my challenges through this cancer story have continually been about self-advocacy, realizing my true wealth, worth, and value, and being able to articulate that to the world, and to make decisions for myself that are not necessarily trusting entirely in professional what what the professionals have to say, because if I wasn't my own advocate, I could be dead already. You know what I mean? And even in this treatment, this cancer round of immunotherapy, if I hadn't been adamant about, my own advocate in this situation, I would have had a PICC line put in that wasn't necessary. I'd be on chemo and radiation that wasn't necessary, and turned out not to be necessary. And even a couple weeks ago, I didn't even tell you about this, but a couple weeks ago I had a call from the radiation people wanting to schedule a consultation, and I'm like, it won't be necessary, because the actual tumor, as far as I can tell, is gone, but that doesn't mean the cancer's gone. So there isn't anything for them to actually focus their radiation on except me, and so anyway, it was wonderful to be able to say thank you, but no thank you, and at least this second time. So I'm grateful again for everybody that's been supporting me, both those folks that have been donating to my GoFundMe and whatnot. This latest adventure into dental realities has definitely set me back a bit, but at least I'm an artist. I painted a painting. Somebody paid me some money a couple months back for that painting, and I saved the money for in case something like this comes along during this treatment situation. And ta-da, today was the day we got to call upon that. So I am one blessed puppy. I'm starting to feel my lips a little more. That's craziness. Anyway, I'm gonna let you go, and thank you for, if you're here, if you watch this, thanks for tuning in, thanks for paying attention, thanks for giving a hoot. I'm sure that this infection will be gone in a day or so with this penicillin I'm taking. I hope that the penicillin doesn't affect the immunotherapy drug or the next infusion on the 19th. Another thing that's going to happen on the 19th, I have my next scheduled appointment with the oncologist. We will, at that point, have the first results back on this study that I'm a part of, where they sequenced the DNA of the cancer from the biopsy that I did a month before we started treatment, and they're able to trace the genetic code of this cancer, the genetic markers and whatnot in my blood. So we'll have the first readout, because every time I go to give to get an infusion, they take a little bit of blood and they compare it to what happened at the last infusion. And this fourth one will be the first time we have kind of a, because the last infusion, the blood they took will have been the first comparison to, since the tumor was actually not visible. So we'll get an idea of where we're at in terms of how much cancer is left. I think they do parts per thousand, and they're not able to do parts per hundred, they told me. But at least it's something. It's, you know, it's better than just going with a PET scan, which I don't think they're even going to do a PET scan until 6 months after the last treatment. So not until next January or December, January, I think. So this time I'm gonna go through the rest, hopefully the rest of these 3 infusions that we've got through June 30th, and then we'll see where we're at. So anyway, thanks again for watching. Thanks for paying attention. Thanks for giving a hoot. Man, I can feel, oh, that's not good. But we're on the mend. We're on the mend. So, and at the moment, I'm not in pain. I got to tell you, it's a completely different universe when you are not in pain and when you are in pain. 2 different universes. The way you see the world, and, you know, that super sensitivity to light and sound, and your attention span, and how much of the world you can actually handle. Yeah, I'm just over here feeling blessed. So anyway, thank you once again. My favorite part. Yes.